YouTube, it's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another quick video for you guys. So I just wanted to talk about women who decide to leave good men. We see this happening all the time, and I think it's a problem, especially in this day and age, because we rarely see women get married in this day and age. We have more single women than we do married women, and then the marriage rates are going down. The divorce rates are going up, and so I just wanted to address it because I think a lot of people have these negative views on marriage. They have these negative views on what it takes to make a marriage or a relationship work. You have women who are married walking away from their husbands because societal norms in 2025 is making them believe that they should be expecting something much more than what they're getting in their marriages. It's creating this superficial fairy tale environment that women now think that what they have is not good enough, even though they signed up for it, even though they've created children and families with these men. They're thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. They're letting their single girlfriends, their family members, and others tell them that they deserve way more than what they're getting. In many cases, they're moving in a sense where they're not communicating with their spouses. They're not talking to their spouses. They're just creating these narratives in their minds, and they're convincing themselves that this is something that they should do. And they really believe that there are men out here who are going to honor them and take them on and create this superficial lifestyle that their husband is not giving them. And they really think that they're going to find this after they've created a life with one man and walked away. They really believe that they're going to be able to create this superficial lifestyle with another man. And what's happening is we're finding women who are leaving their marriages based on a feeling, based on what they feel, what they think, and what they think they deserve. And they're putting themselves up on this pedestal as to, to convince themselves that what they have is not good enough. And it's interesting to see because this is where you see a lot of these women complaining about, oh, they're in marriages where they're still single mothers because they got to take care of the kids. So because their husbands are out working, paying all the bills, I've literally heard women say that they're stay-at-home moms, but they're struggling and they feel like they're single mothers because their husbands are at work working, paying all the bills, and their job is to be at home and take care of the house and the kids, and they can't handle that. So by them doing that, they think that they're losing out or somehow they're slaves and they're not, they're getting a raw end of the stick, when there are women out here who would wish to be in their positions because they understand, how hard it is to go out here and work and do it all by themselves. But society is convincing these women, and other women are convincing these women, I call it the bonnet crew sisterhood, is convincing these women that, girl, you deserve better, girl. Girl, you need to go find you a man who's going to give you the world. Girl, you deserve more. And then these women walk away from their homes thinking that they could get more just to find out that there's nothing out there for them. There's no Captain Save a Woman out there. There's no man out here waiting to take on you and your kids. And I think a lot of times women don't think of the bigger picture. They only act on their feelings and they make huge mistakes. This is the thing that boggles the mind of most men, because men don't want to commit to women anymore. Men don't want to get married anymore because they're afraid of the idea that a woman is going to get in her feelings and she's going to one day just get this feeling out of nowhere and she's going to walk away and break up her entire family. That is something that men are fearful of, and as they should be, because if women can operate off of their feelings and make such drastic decisions that will mess up their whole family, how could any man be comfortable with committing to a woman and creating a family with her if he's unsure if she's going to, stay in the relationship or not? And I don't think it's an incentive, because women will say, oh, that's an incentive for men to just cheat and do what they want. No, I think men are just wired differently from women. Men go into these relationships really trying to make it work and really doing it because that's what they want to do. Women, everything is subjective. Everything is, up in the air. Everything is not solid when it comes to women because women change their minds. Women go into these marriages and then whenever they don't feel right, they make these types of decisions. I feel that God spoke to me and told me that he's not my husband. So even though you chose to marry him, even though you said you loved him, even though you created a family with him, out of the blue one day you wake up and decide you're better than this and you want a divorce and you want to leave. And you're not considering him. You're not considering his feelings. You're not considering the kids. It's all about you and what you want. And this is why when these women choose to make these horrible decisions, they end up by themselves for the rest of their life. Or they end up going through, meaningless relationships with men and they still become depressed and they never find themselves. They never figure it out. They realize the grass is not greener. And a lot of times they try to go back. But another thing women need to realize too, when you make that decision, there's no going back. These men aren't taking you back because now they really can't trust you. They don't trust what you will do again. And if you can break their heart once, you'll break it again. So it creates a different type of man. But what we do see also is that a lot of these men who move on, they tend to marry again. A lot of them. And the women end up single, distressed, distraught, just torn apart by their own hands. They end up still depressed, not finding themselves, still realizing that they made a huge mistake, but it's too late. And they end up on social media crying, talk about, oh my God, I think I made a mistake. I walk away from my husband because I wasn't happy and I felt so sad all the time. And I just thought I needed to leave. That's your first inclination to leave and do what? You rarely hear them say, oh, I want to put in the time. Let's work on it. Let's figure it out. They just have this feeling to leave because they think that if they leave, their lives are going to be so much better. And I'm not talking about marriages where there's abuse, where there's real abuse and there's real things going on. And I'm talking about you just having a feeling that, you wake up one day and say, oh, I'm done. The Lord told me, and this is not my husband. So I'm leaving because I don't want to miss out who my real husband is. And then you get out there and the grass is looking very dry and it's not really greener. In fact, it's dying. And you out here thinking that you done made a move for the better, but you realize ain't really nothing out there for you. That you made one of the biggest mistakes of your life, especially if you had a good man, a good father, a good husband. And this is why I tell people, hey, look, relationships will work. If you're not willing to put in the work, well, it's not going to, usually the women will leave because they're the ones who are always complaining. Men will sit there and deal with the issues. But women, on the other hand, they get in their feelings and they got all these emotions and they're like, oh no, and they make these decisions. And all you need is a validation from one of your girlfriends to tell you, girl, yeah, you should leave, girl. Girl, you deserve better, girl. And they'll hype you up and cause you to leave while they go and try to find them a man to marry because they knew what you had. You just didn't know what you had. So I say also to say that women will leave good men based on their feelings. And I think that's a mistake a lot of them make. And I'm just here to tell you, please don't make that mistake. If you got a good man, I don't care if you're bored. I don't care what your issues are. Figure out something. Bring the livelihood to the marriage. You do something to spice it up. Don't walk away from a good man thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, because 9 times out of 10, it is not. Keep your man, keep your family intact. Work on your issues. And you'll be just fine. Stop thinking that you're going to find something better than what you have, because most likely you won't. I'm just saying.